Okay, I'd like to call the January meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission to order and welcome those of you who are in our audience. Is that the right word? And if you don't have an agenda, they're back there. Okay. The first agenda item is the consent agenda. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The motion passes. New business. The first item of new business is the request of Carrie Appel to replace roofs on the house at 123 Cabell Street. And if you would tell us your name and your address.
My name is Victor
Welcome.
Appel. My address is 123 Cobble Street.
All righty.
And we're hoping to survive a couple years before the roof needed to be replaced, but that didn't happen. It's per our contractor, it's systematically failing across the board. We have, at last count, over 7 new leaks in it. When we got up there to try and coat some of the bigger leaks, others are just showing up.
How many do you have?
7.
7?
Yeah,
You
it's,
have to have 10 for a new roof.
well, fortunately, he said plus 20 roof leaks throughout the house. I only counted 7 over the weekend, but our contractor says there's at least 20.
Okay.
So, and we've put $12,000 into the roof already to try and mitigate some of the leaks a year ago, and it's just gone. So what we're requesting is in-kind replacement across the whole front, and then the back part EPDM. Right, with metal flashing around the front. So that's actually a railing, a nice, beautiful black railing. Well, actually, it's only this tall, so I don't know about railing, but yeah, it's just a nice decorative wrought iron work. We want metal all the way around that front edge so that it looks metal, and then into the center we would put EPDM. I was actually at Point of Honor Saturday, and they were gracious enough to let me into that place to take pictures of my house from there. And there's an evergreen tree that blocks the only window that can actually see my house. It's funny. And one other window, if I look from the side, I can just sort of see a corner of the house. So it's not very visible from there. I have pictures from the grounds as well. But this elevation is obviously a satellite or a plane. You can't see this from ground level. But we were concerned about that because we want to preserve that look. So the whole front will be that way. There's an existing flat tin on the little bump out to, on the previous one, please. On the right there, the far right little bump out. That material doesn't exist anymore. So we're gonna propose that it be the same as the rest of the house because we physically can't buy that material anymore, that sandy seam of that copper. It's just not physically available. So we want to mix the two, or not mix actually, but make it the same. So the porch, the roof, at the top level, the front would all be the sanding steen existing in-kind replacement with a black color. I know that our proposal originally said Senate blue, but we're going to go with the matte black color. And then in the back part of the house, put in the EPDM with metal around the edges.
And you have
Yeah.
hidden gutters?
Yes, we do.
And those will be?
Metal covered.
Okay. So you're still using the hidden gutters?
Absolutely. Yeah, that was some of the first money I put into the place was to repair those and get those functional again because they were leaking into the house. And we thought we were good and that we needed to just patch some spots, and no, the last year's rain and cold and just destroyed the roof. What was left of it, it gave up. So we're gonna put some significant money into the roof.
Are there questions for Mr. Appel?
Please.
My only concern would be that little front bay window, I'm not sure there's anything you can do about that, but, you know, the profile of the new metal, the fins are much higher, so it's gonna give a totally different profile on that tiny little roof. But I'm not sure what else you could do about that.
But we still want it metal, so at least it'll match the rest of the roof.
Right, I understand that.
And the houses on both sides of us, up and down, are all shingled. They look like crap.
I think you could actually probably find that flat lock copper if they wanted to go to the expense of it. I mean, you can get roll copper and a good roofer could put that on if you wanted. And there's some other, you
I
could
would rather just make it look uniform.
Yeah.
I don't, maybe they replaced whatever was there at one time, or they added that bump out after, I don't know.
I would assume the bay window is original.
I would too.
Yeah.
But you see, right now, that kind of, the roof of that just sort of disappears, but that new roof, especially the way they do the little, when they wrap it on the fascia, it's a lot thicker profile, the fins on top are much higher.
I'd encourage it, he could even get galvanized and paint it. You know, the maintenance is gonna be a little more. Over time, you're gonna need to paint it every 3 or 5 years. But he could use just roll galvanized, do a flat lock seam on it and paint it. And you could keep a really low profile like you have here. It would drop away, you could paint the same matte black. And
Would that be acceptable to you guys?
Yeah.
It was actually proposed, but we didn't think
Yeah, I
you guys
think,
would be at all interested in that you'd rather see a uniform look.
no, I think,
So we didn't even.
yeah, I think
look
that
at it
little
as
bay
an
window
option.
would be better with that low, I think Rick's right, the seams standing up are gonna give you a different view, and actually that little, it's gonna be a fussy, painful to get that standing seam on that little bitty bay. A flat lock would work for you even better, I think.
Okay, I'm just going with, yes, I
Yeah.
need a new roof.
Yeah,
Are you okay, well, what about the porch roof? That one's a little bigger, so.
it's a little bigger, I think you'd be all right. I mean, if he wants to.
It's
if
already,
he-
the porch already has standing seam.
Standing seam, yeah, so that would make sense.
And that's why I want to go to EPDM on the middle portion, because the standing seam keeps all the leaves on it, and then they wash down and clog the gutters.
Yeah.
It's been horrible. I've had to get up there once a month to clean them out. It's just been, and
Yeah.
I can't like get in between the ribs. You know, you gotta. It's just
Yeah.
it's a nightmare to clean that stuff and keep the roof, keep the house from. Now I know why that whole portion was water damaged.
But if he'll do that bay window and flat lock, that'd be super.
I will absolutely.
You want to make the
Yeah,
motion?
would you like to make a
Yeah,
motion?
I make a motion to approve as submitted with the one change discussed for the front bay window, going from the standing seam to a flat lock, which could be galvanized and painted to match color.
Wonderful.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? Okay.
Thank you very much.
All those in favor say
This
aye.
Might be in before
Aye.
our kids' birthdays.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you.
Before the next snow.
Well, that's Tuesday, so no.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that is. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks, George.
The next item on our agenda is the request of Art of Living LLC to alter the windows in the home at 1121 Rivermont Avenue with vinyl replacements. If you would come and give your name and address for us, please.
My name's Jerry Young, and I live at 235 Meadow Hollow Loop in Monroe, Virginia.
Okay, would you tell us about your proposal, Mr. Young?
Well, the proposal, what I had in mind to start with, and was to put the vinyl replacement windows in this home. And in all fairness, I bought the windows to replace them, and I didn't get paperwork stating that this was a no-no. So I understand I'm pretty well have to stay with these windows. You know, and the discussion with the people that came out to the house, doesn't seem like I have much of an argument to be able to put the replacement windows in there. So I don't know if that's something we can discuss, or that's just written in stone that we're going to fix these windows.
I think that, you know, obviously the ones on the dormer would have to stay. Now, since the other one's already missing, you know, these other three in the front aren't the original windows, so I would think you can keep 1/1 like that. You know, you don't have to do the 12/1 or 12/2, whatever that would be. Like, because you do have other windows, but, so these, I think you can do replacement windows, but they'd have to be, not the kind you have, not the vinyl. You know, what would be nice, I don't know if, I thought about it later, but you have some windows in there this size. I think you have one in that room that's like 12/1 or 12/2. And I don't know if you have two that size that you could actually put in that. Yeah.
Well, actually, the 12, there's only the one 12 over.
Yeah, and I don't think.
There's
it's
only
as
one that was
big.
12 over something. The rest of them, we have 7 of them that are 9/2s.
Well, maybe that's what I'm talking about, the 9/2.
Yeah, 9/2s. There's one in the living room, but the 2 windows in the front are, the
Different
two
sizes.
downstairs windows are larger than any of the other windows in the house, so I couldn't
Okay.
really,
Well,
I can't really interchange those. So, you know, that's fine, you know.
You see next door, the 9/2s.
yeah,
Yeah.
there you go, right there, yeah.
Yeah, I've got 7 of the 9/2s.
I mean, ideally, we would like to see that for these windows, 9/2.
There's an eclectic variation in this house. I think I've got 7 of the 9/2s, 1 of the 12/1s, or whatever was on the bottom. That one's completely missing. I've got 6 2/2s, I think. I got a few of them that's 1/1s, and I do have a few that are just totally not there. So, you know, I've accepted the, I think I've accepted the fact that I will go ahead and just redo these windows here. Most of them are, I have very few of them that actually have glass in them. They're mostly plexiglass or something nailed in there, caulked in there, or junked in there somehow. So I've decided, I've got the front door redone already. So that's the original front door that was on there. And I will just go ahead and redo the rest of the windows. I was wondering if there was a possibility that I could use the vinyl replacements in the new addition that was put in the 40s on the back side of the house. These windows here seem to be the ones that are having the most trouble. There's nothing visible there from the street, the front, or anything. But those ones will be the hardest for me to reconstruct. So if there's a possibility that I could use them on the back
Now,
side,
that side, you fix all the.
I'll fix everything on all 3 sides except for the back. If I could use
Just
what,
that little bump out.
Yeah. I'd like to put the 2 in the top too, but you know, that's,
I would say if it's not visible from the street, it'd probably be.
yeah, this is my biggest problem right here. I've got these 2 windows here. There's one on the other side of this, and there's this other one in the back. Those one, they're just really rough shape, plus the 2 at the top. I'm missing the parts and pieces for them, and they're sort of an oddball type of deal again too. But the 3 sides, I have no problems reconstructing the windows that are there. But if I could recoup a little bit of my loss for what I've got to put the windows that I have in to this area, and this is another area that I'd like to talk about after the window portion of it.
Are the windows the right size? The sash is the right size for the openings?
They're
That you have?
They're the vinyl replacement windows, yeah. They were custom ordered for this house.
Oh, okay.
So,
And are you talking about just the little part that's going to be the family room, or are you talking about upstairs?
well, I'd like to do the two upper ones too, but if I have to, you know, I've got a 6 over nothing and a 12 over nothing. If I could slide those two, if I could slide those, if I could replace just the back half that nobody can see, and it'd help me recoup a little bit of my loss, because I did buy windows for the whole house. But I didn't, somehow the letter that she sent out on the windows in the exterior part of this house when I bought it got returned to her, so I was unaware of yeah, so I was ready to jump on this and get busy on it. I knew the roof had to be taken care of to start with, and it's actually a nice home. It's got real good bones to it. It's cleaned out, gutted right now, ready to go back together. We're going to save a lot of the architectural features on the inside, and I will be glad to replace or refinish all the ones on the 3 sides that you can see from any port of the traffic. This back area has a halfway decent backyard and things. That I have a new door I'd like proposed for that one there. Actually, that's that must have been one of the interior doors. That's not even, it doesn't even go there. They sort of nailed and cobbled that on there. So this would help me out tremendously if I could just replace the back with what I've got, and that would help me offset some of the cost of what I have to do on the 3 sides to replace and redo the rest of the windows.
All right, I move that the application, how would you do this? Because we're denying it, aren't we?
Well,
That the original application be denied with the exception that the rear windows can be replaced with the vinyl sided replacements.
replacement. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion, questions?
Does it need to say agreeing that the visible 3 are rebuilt?
Yes,
The 3
Okay.
sides?
if you could add that.
You guys are okay with these up here being replaced?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the other 3 sides would be rebuilt.
Okay, if there's no other discussion.
You want,
I do have on this area here where this door is
Well,
at.
that's a separate thing, right?
Yeah, go ahead and
As far
Yeah,
as-
that's
do the motion
good.
on the windows and then discuss the door, if that's.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
I thank you for that. Saved me a little bit. The entrance doors on the paperwork I have doesn't state that I have to have a historical door or anything there, so I've got a new door that I'd like to install there, and I'll have to fix the siding up top where they've chopped something in there, but I want to extend.
transom there, originally.
I want to extend that roof a little bit to cover a 5x10 deck in this corner here, which is not visible from the street either. This is everything in the backyard, but those steps, the first one's 9 inches, the next one's 6 inches, and they're concrete, and they're just, it's a mess, you know. So if there's a possibility that I would put just extend a little roof line over top of that so we can keep some of the rain off when people come into the house in the back, and put a new steel entrance, craftsman style door that has the 6 lights up on the top. That would help me eliminate some of this problem I got right there in the back entranceway.
So
Could that be just administrative in that it's on the rear?
that would be a change to the building, so no, it would need to come back for approval. Jerry, I'd suggest you sketch it out and kind of show what it's gonna look like, how that roof would attach and hang over, and bring it back next meeting, but maybe you guys have input now before he goes into that level of detail.
Well, I would like to say that the door is rotten. I don't see how it could possibly be repaired, so.
Yeah, that's actually some door that they found. There's new jambs on that, and it's got a padlock on it. You can tell that it's nowhere.
It's been scabbed.
It's nowhere as close to any kind of original outfit that was
It'd be
there.
interesting to see if the three, I guess, siding boards that are up there, that's probably a transom, whether or not that transom is under there still.
No, there's nothing on the inside. It's gutted on the inside, so there's actually the old studs that are, I don't know what they did to that, but
Really?
there was no window there. There's studs right in the middle of the
That's weird.
bays there.
You know, it would be good if you're gonna you try to put like a little shed roof on that for the door.
Yeah.
If you could actually somehow incorporate that, maybe take that little stub roof off that piece that comes out next to the door and kind of make
Yeah,
one smooth
I was gonna-
transition.
I think there's a good possibility that I'm only going to come out 5 foot with that deck, that I can extend that shed roof up top to blend straight in to that. It'll overtake that small little,
You mean the one all the way up, go up there?
that one, this one here. Yeah, that one there.
No,
I
I'm talking
should-
about that little one below there.
I should be able to extend that roof out, and it'll cover up that little outhouse looking corner there. That's a closet on the inside that actually went to that new addition right there for some reason. It's just a 2x2 little closet in there,
So how wide do you want to come out with the roof?
just enough to cover the porch. I've only want to extend about a 5-foot porch
Are
there.
you talking about from the second floor?
No, on the bottom where the concrete's at. Right there where,
We want to put a 5-foot deck out here.
and that upper,
To cover the whole deck?
the first roof would extend, lay over part of,
Up higher, yeah.
of the addition.
I think he's saying that one.
Yeah, that one right there. That would extend out another 5 feet to cover that little porch that I'm gonna put on the
I think
bottom
it would
of
be
it.
kind of awkward to come that upper one out. It would almost be better to tuck a new
Yeah.
porch
How
underneath
wide-
that.
How wide is that little stub thing there? Yeah,
That right there,
no, not that one, the other way. Yeah, that one. How wide is that?
2 foot.
So maybe if you came out 3 feet, gave that a foot overhang, and then just went across and keep it the same pitch as this little one in the back, that way your valley will match, and it won't interfere with that roof up top, it'll actually come below. That's
So
what you're
Rick,
talking
you're
about.
saying bring the one that we're seeing to the left on across, no, come down in, that one?
Right,
and
come out
keep
a
that
foot,
line
come out a
going?
foot from
It's
that.
gonna be too low.
Yeah,
It's gonna be too low.
it's gonna cut the far corner of the on the door, I think.
We're
right?
not gonna get a
No,
pit.
no.
The best thing is just do a
No,
little
no,
shelf.
well, no, I'm saying, okay, see where that hand is? Come out
Laser.
to about where the window is. Well, let me just go up there and show you. It'll be easier. Okay. What I'm saying is, if you, all right, so come out to about right there,
Yeah, that's about the 5-foot
and
marker.
then go up and across, and then back down again. So in other words, from here, it'll be a straight line across, and then have your shed roof come up, about that same pitch. And if you do that, you're covering this whole thing, and it should come under that roof. Because you're talking about keeping them separate, correct?
Yeah,
Do you-
from the upper one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Why, that is, I have a hard time understanding that. Why would I want to keep a gutter up there and drop another roof below that? Then I'll have more issues with that gutter, the underside of that. If I could extend that main roof just 5 feet, I would have, I
Is there a-
wouldn't have to put a pitch brake in it. I
Do we have
wouldn't
a side view of this thing? Looking at it,
That's see, it's a goofy port right there because,
but isn't, yes, okay. So if you extend that roof, you've got a gambrel right there, don't you? That's a huge pitch to come down.
no, we're not doing that. It's past that. The gambrel is not part of it. We're talking about this, there's 5-foot roof up there already.
That's the gambrel, right?
Yeah, there.
And that
Yeah,
doesn't
that
come
goes
down
up.
to here?
Yeah, that area right there where the gutter's at, you can walk out there, out that window, that's about 5 foot already that comes out at that plane level. So what I'd like to do is just take this gutter completely out, bring that roof, just match the other one, and come out to just about to this window right here. So this would all be straight out. That roof actually ends right there. Part of the gambrel that you're looking at on this side, this is actually some kind of a flat pediment right there beyond on this side of the house. So what I would like to do is just extend this to cover that extra 5-foot of porch that I'm gonna put out here, so we got covering on this entrance door. So if I could just, I don't wanna bring it down here, then I've got a gutter over top of this roof that flex more stuff. I've got a small area in here that I've got to address and deal with, and I can match this roof to come out here with a valley. This existing valley that's already here would just be extended to this point. So I would have no pitch breaks, no more maintenance issues or anything in that area.
Is this something in that we need a new request for so that we can really
Yeah, I think
see
we need an
what-
application for this with probably a sketch so that everybody really understands what's going on and what you're asking for.
I mean, we do understand it, but
Yeah.
we just need to visually.
Yeah, I don't want to make any more maintenance.
You know, the best thing for you to do is just take a picture of this, and you can sketch right over the, just do a tracing kind of thing right over the picture, and kind of, something simple like that.
Get from the side as well.
Yeah,
From this side, a good view.
so we can see that gambrel and how this thing is going to change pitch and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, well,
But the whole deck is not gonna be, is not gonna have a roof over it, it's just, it kind of.
Well, that's what he's saying, because he
wanna
he
cover
wants
the
to
whole
come
deck?
out.
The whole deck is gonna be 5 feet, you
Yeah.
said?
yeah, the deck's only going to extend out here 5 feet to
Just a
cover up,
landing deck.
the problems I got right there is with all that concrete and stuff right there. It's going to have to be chiseled out and put new steps in there regardless if I do anything to add onto the roof. But as you know, it's always nice when you get up onto the porch with your groceries or what you got, not to be standing in the rain until you can get inside. So that's the only reason I want to put a little stoop or something over top of that door.
Well, I think if we can see it, that then we can make a much
Okay.
more
I'll tell you
informed
something else.
decision.
I know this is a little, that little 2x2 carbuncle in the corner, if that could go away, everything else gets a lot cleaner. If that's at all possible.
Well, it could. It's
What's in that thing?
a little closet that comes into this 15 by 20 addition that they put on here. And it's actually really useless.
It would clean it up.
Because that'll eventually either become a family room or a in-law suite in the back to have a bedroom on the first floor in case you need, all the rest of the bedrooms are in the first floor. So if there's an elderly person or something in the home that they can actually use that, I'm gonna tie it into a bathroom that's on that first floor. I've been approved for a half bath on the other back side of that door on this side. So another half bath will go on the first floor. The other main bath will probably be more designated towards that family room. So, but really what I really need to do, if we can wait a month to work on that, I've got plenty of pending issues on this place if I can get the door approved to be able to get a new door on there. Starting to get quite a few tools in there, and that door's not,
Can you do that, Ann?
I'll leave that up to you guys. I think it's pretty minor. But it is a change in what's there.
if I can just get a new
I'll
door
do a
on there to
motion
be able to
that
lock it up a
we
little bit, you know, it's,
Approve the rear door as submitted.
With the porch addition to come back as a
Yeah,
submission.
door
Yeah.
only.
Cool.
okay?
Jerry, can you leave that with me?
Sure.
Is there a second to Rick's motion?
On the rear door.
Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay. Passes.
One last issue was the paint chips.
That's administrative, so you just submit those to me.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. I think that's all I've got. We'll go ahead and fix up the rest of it the way you guys would like to have
Another
it.
application.
And we'll see you next month. Thank you, Mr.
Back next month, and you just want a sketch and a drawing of the little bit of changes we're gonna do on the
Sure,
back.
I like your suggestion about,
Yeah.
removing that little closet. It would make it nice and clean, and you wouldn't have all these roofs going on, you know,
Yeah.
in the rear, even though it's in the rear and you don't see it. It would even give you more space on your back porch.
And is there an advocate for
Yeah.
that?
Me.
Probably not.
So when you do the sketch, you might want to, or maybe pass it by either Emmett or me.
Just give it to Ann.
Give it to me and I'll share it
Yeah, yeah. So just in case we say, well, you know, we need to see something else, or there might be an issue with this or that, you know, that way we'll get it straightened out before you get here, so that it should be easy sailing
Sure.
when you get here.
Yeah, I don't think this is, I mean, it's not gonna change the looks too much of that house, so I think it'll be, all right. The paint,
taking it on.
oh,
This to me, I'll give this.
this one is a project, but
The one next to it looks real nice. It's been done.
Application.
And those windows are hard time.
these projects.
Oh, yeah, they're all these houses are.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, thank you. And we'll-
You're welcome.
You need to see this house done, and like you said, it's got good bones, you can tell.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It was once a very beautiful house.
My dad was a master carpenter. He enjoyed fixing these old houses.
Nice.
I built 100 new ones, so I much rather enjoy building the new ones, but this one sort of spoke to me, and then I jumped the gun on the windows and things a little bit, but I had plans on making this home pretty much the way it was, except I'm not a fan of single pane windows, which I didn't know we didn't have a choice there, but we'll still be able to doctor them up and make them look real nice.
And a good storm inside
Yeah.
Yeah.
will go a long way.
Oh, that's,
Stopping the draft.
we won't have any problems. I've built a lot of homes. I built a 10,000 square footer up there in Amherst, and 7,000 square footer, $2 million log home.
Nice.
I come down here to retire a little bit. It didn't work.
The bylaw.
Thank you.
We'll get this one fixed up in short order for you guys.
Thank you.
I appreciate you letting me do some of those windows.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Have a good
Mr.
day.
Young. The next item, and that is the bylaws.
I don't have a presentation or anything. I just updated the code sections to reflect the current zoning ordinance. And so that's just the little bit of change there in the beginning of the bylaws.
And I have to leave, is that okay?
Sure.
You don't need me for that, right?
Oh, actually, well, then we can't vote. You have to have 5 members to vote on the bylaws.
Okay, let's have a motion to approve. Second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Did that take
Okay.
care of it?
Thank you, Rick.
Well done. We'll get your signature next time.
Okay.
We have to sign it all today?
Yes.
I can sign it now. Can I do it now?
Sure.
The last item on the agenda is a photo. So-
We'll put that on hold since your noble leaders are absent today.
Yeah, because we got a lot of missing people. Is there any other business?
Sure, that's me.
Okay, if not, we're adjourned.
Great, thank you.